Yo guys, welcome back. It is about that time again. We've got Pretty Hair looking pretty, we've got Scott looking chatty, and the Rogue Company Twitch is live once again with another update show, this time the Switchblade update show. This one was kind of mad, there's a lot of stuff in here for sure. So, just like last time, I'm going to upload the full uncut event with commentary so that you guys know exactly what's going on and you don't have to miss a thing. This video will be long, 100%. If you're not interested in seeing the full-length thing, there'll be a card just up in the corner here with a cut down, more condensed version. If the card isn't up there yet, then it means I haven't made the video yet. Make sure you subscribe so you do catch that video, or just subscribe anyway. Good idea. Remember, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, but let's just crack straight on with the show for you guys. All right, boys!
Hello and welcome everybody back to another installment of the Rogue Company update show for the Switchblade update. My name is Pretty Hair. I will be your host today. As always, I am joined by the designer of Rogue Company, Scott Gandhi. We're ready to rock and roll. This is a long one today, guys, so we're going to waste no time in getting straight into it. First thing we're going to be talking about is game modes.
All right, so in this update, King of the Hill is going to be moved over to our, our standard 4v4 maps, but it is going to be 6v6 now. And there's going to be the new core game mode that'll be replacing Extraction. So Extraction is going to temporarily come out of the rotation. It's going to go into the limited time mode cycle.
Nice, man.
King of the Hill also has buy when dead now. So, in our previous patch, you weren't able to do that in between the different rounds, or you could only purchase in between rounds. Now you can do it when you're dead, and it really changes the dynamic altogether on King of the Hill. In addition to that, when we increased it to 6v6, we still have the version of 4v4 that is inside of customs for all the competitive players, so we don't disrupt anything inside of there. That game mode is a one-to-one with what you all know and you love and you've been playing and practicing. But in the 6v6, right, we kind of leaned into a lot of the feedback that we've seen on Reddit as well as on the surveys, which a lot of, I'd say there was a decent amount of frustration from some players of, why aren't the hills random? And the main reason we didn't want the hills to be random before, well, there's a couple of reasons, but we also, we didn't have strong conveyance to the player as to where the next hill would be or when it would pop. And so we were like, well, we have to lean on making sure that there's a set pattern and that there's strategy mastery inside of there. And so with 6v6, we have made an improvement to where you can see the preview of the next hill, and that allows us to have a fully random hill set. So the first hill is always going to be the exact same. It's always going to be in that first spot, and that's mostly because that's the hill that plays the best, the most fair off the rip. But from that point, it's all random, baby. So we appreciate all the feedback. Very interesting.
So there's going to be no rotation hogging.
Super exciting. 6v6 King of the Hill is probably the most fun I've had in Rogue Company.
Yeah, very, very fun. So just to summarize, folks, 6v6 King of the Hill, same maps you're used to.
Like Brave and Valorant?
Buy, win,
I didn't
dead.
clock his ability. I was fucking well.
The hill moves every 75 seconds. The first hill will always be the same, but after that point, it will be random. So look at your HUD. Make sure you're looking around. There'll be a little UI element indicating where the next hill is going to be. I believe it's about 10 seconds or so before that hill unlocks, so you kind of get a little bit of a head start heading over that way. Another small note is the 6v6 updates will only be pushed to Xbox, PC, and PS4. Switch still has some considerations. We're figuring out how best to implement the increased player count on that particular piece of hardware. So Switch will not be getting the 6v6 modes. That is just PC, Xbox, and PS4. A couple of little things extra that we're doing with more players running around. Scott, we're changing the value of assists from $500 to $250.
Yeah, so one of the things inside of Rogue Company is that our economy, especially in the respawn game mode,
permanent modes
really inflated with assists, right? You get the credit on the down, and you also get elimination credit, right? And so assists were kind of inflating everything. And so a lot of our intel characters, such as Seeker and Dallas and Talon, were able to run really out of control inside of there, especially Talon. Talon, you throw the dart out there, anyone who dies inside of that area, you didn't know, you get assist credit for. So you're just making money over money over money. And so we decided to have that, and now we're starting to get a much more realistic, I would say, flow for what the economy should be like inside of our respawn game mode.
Gotcha. And a couple more little notes here for Strikeout. We've added the ability to spawn flip. And this is basically...
Yeah, this is huge.
So you don't
this is really
get
big.
Stuck in the same little corner the entire match. And if somebody pushes too far into your spawn, you will spawn elsewhere on the map, giving you kind of a more freed feeling and more options when you come back.
Yeah, so this all can be summarized into one thing. Since Rogue Company has released Strikeout, one of the number one complaint has been spawn camping. How do you fix spawn camping? And we have gone through a couple of different iterations. And at the time, we believed very much that combat fronts, and that's what we call the idea, the design principle behind why one team spawns on one side versus the other. We believe very highly in that. And then as we continue to test more and more respawn game modes, our spawn system got better and better and better. And our logic and our philosophy as to how we treat spawns improved.
Yeah.
And so
it makes a lot of sense to change them around, to be honest.
As well as King of the Hill. We go, well,
it makes a lot of sense to change them around because people you have then immunity, you have that you don't need to have, you have spawn campaign that isn't going to happen anymore, ideally. So
and having someone crouched behind a cover with an objection, that's probably the one that I'm
it's
like,
right up
all
there.
right.
We got to fix that.
I fucking love Scott Gardy, man.
That's
He's
good
a
stuff,
fucking
man.
legend.
And like I mentioned earlier, Buy When Dead is being added to King of the Hill. Buy When Dead has always been there for Team Deathmatch, and Buy When Dead will be added to Strikeout. So basically, respawn game modes. We really, really like the Buy When Dead functionality. It seems you guys at home like the Buy When Dead functionality, so we are going to add that in. And
Someone just said more aim
assist.
assist.
Smooths out my power curve. It's not just these massive spikes at the round ends when I go back to the dropship. It's been a really nice, I think, addition to those respawn modes.
Yeah, I think there's also, we have those, there's not a lot of times where it happens, but there are those times where you're having a good round and your team is down and you have just enough money to get life drain all of a sudden or to get a second gadget. And that changes that flow forever throughout that match. And then you're able to get a nice comeback story inside of there. So we're super optimistic about it. We can't wait for you guys to give us your feedback on it.
Gotcha. Cool. And of course, with a big update like this, we have tons and tons of weapon changes coming for you all. These first two up on the docket. Actually, before we get into this, I want to talk about zip lines, Scott. We can now use abilities and gadgets while riding zip lines.
Wait, what the fuck?
The animation and tech art team.
I can use a fucking nade while
gameplay was included in that, but gameplay. Our gameplay programmers are they're wizards. They're amazing all together. And so they're always just incorporating all of it. But yes, now, this is another one of those community asks, which is like, hey, and I'd get it on Twitter. Hey, Gandhi, why can't I use
fucking love him,
before?
dude.
It was like, well,
he's so cool.
That's a really good question. And there was a decision I made way back early on in development. And so we knew we could deliver it inside of here. And I was like, hey, this is a huge community win if we can do this. And the team rallied behind it.
TTS is off, mashallah.
It feels just as good as you would expect.
Pete, can you refund
it
him?
just feels right.
I mean, you're already taking a big risks usually getting on zip lines, so being able to use some gadgets, throw flashes, do whatever you got to do.
It's a glitch, Michelle. Just wait for a bit.
It feels like it helps negate some of that or hedge some of that risk that you're taking by taking the zip line. Small note is that things like trip mines, APSs, anvils, barricade, anything that's like a object.
Anvils, barricade, use it whilst on a zip line.
You don't have a valid placement, so those you still can't use on the zip line, but they're wholly not designed to be used on the zip line. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Anyway.
There's no such thing as planning a zip mine.
I'm pretty sure these are pre-recorded streams, by the way.
Zip mine, new gadget revealed here.
Zip mine.
That's what
you know what you're designing next, Nick?
The zip mine, dude. There it is.
Give me the most specific character in the history of Rogue Company. This character only makes zip lines more dangerous.
The anti-zip line character. That's
Give us Twitch drops!
Let's go ahead and let's get into that weapon balance that I was mentioning. So these first two changes I'm actually going to bundle together because they are kind of under the theme of dealing with armored players. The Harm 30K will be seeing an increase in headshot damage from 40 to 42. And the Nightshade will be seeing a body shot damage increase from 17 to 18.
Oh, I'm going to have to do some maths for this video.
So some of you are like, it seems very small. Why would you do that? And it really comes down to the optimal time to kill. So for the Harm 30K, right? The Harm 30K is our slowest firing assault rifle that's supposed to pack a punch. Unfortunately, the Harm 30K is really kind of almost worst in class when it comes to time to kill versus armor, especially in headshots. And so by moving it from 40 to 42, now you're able to kill people who have armor in 3 shots specifically. Same exact principle.
Yeah, everyone's spamming drops, man.
To the Nightshade as well.
Everyone wants straight
shots. Supposed to be
real.
the best, have the highest the fastest time to kill of all the assault rifles because it's a SMG AR hybrid, right? Like that's the identity of that weapon. And so before, we didn't have this issue, but as we introduced more and more characters with armor and things along those lines,
might be
it actually kind of fell out of favor. And so by giving that 1 damage, it seems silly, but that 1 damage makes a world of difference.
Sometimes that's all it needs to push it over the threshold. The Riptide will be seeing a fall off range reduction.
Cool, little nerf for the Riptide. I'm fine with that. I think that makes sense.
Kind of that niche, that bursty sort of DM.
Getting buff.
A headshot damage increase from 24 to 25.
Holy shit.
And a body shot damage increase from 15 to 16. The MXR, that's a weapon that's been kind of all over the place. We'll be seeing a fire rate increase. And this is something, it's a really, really popular DMR. When the time to kill changes happened, it was a whole different beast. But since the reverse,
I don't know, Michelle. I'll look at it in a bit, man. I'll look at it in a bit. I'll check it out in a second. Yo, Big Lux, you're saying welcome.
Been a little bit out of favor, so we're gonna give it just a little bit of a firebomb, and that's its identity. It's the fast firing.
I mean, to be fair, compared to the Deadeye,
the MXR,
which can 2-shot kill,
and so like the dev team, like the design,
it's kind of the worst DMR right now. So it does make sense to.
I have like a very special spot in my heart for it.
To buff it a little bit. But I mean, the only thing you can do is fire rate. You can't do damage because otherwise OP. They do a bit of fire rate, I guess. So.
Throughout the year, or throughout the months,
thank you.
It's gone from
Mamba, Mamba, fucking crazy.
And then I think this was just an oversight.
Thank you for the follow, by the way.
The other TTK of just, okay, let's make sure that it has the fire rate that it needs to have in order to
talk
do assault rifles.
Yeah. Okay, so that does it for DMRs. Moving on to pistols, the A3 Salvo.
Needs a buff.
A bit of a pain point. It's never been regarded as a super, super strong pistol. So we're going to be doing a number of things to try and bring this
look at that block attack
to speed and get it to its spot where it can feel really viable. It is a bit of a niche gun. Those burst weapons can be kind of tough to use holistically, but we think these changes will help. The fire rate is going
compared to every other pistol, it's bad.
We'll be increasing the headshot damage from 23 to 24 and the body shot damage from 19 to 20. So you will be shooting faster and hitting harder across the board. Great stuff there for the Salvo. The LW6 revolver will be seeing a fire rate increase as well.
Yeah, and so very soon, just to touch on the A3 Salvo, and then I'll also hit on the Mamba. Burst rifles or burst weapons naturally create a little bit of an inconsistent experience for the players, right? And so both of these changes, both on the Mamba as well as the A3 Salvo, really aim to make it a more consistent experience for the player overall. Now, the A3 Salvo, let's be honest with ourselves, right? It's been an underperforming weapon since pretty much the inception of the gun.
Yeah, it's been ass.
So this is our next step of like, okay, let's really try to make sure that this thing feels well. And
I like the pistol. I just never use a rogue that uses it. I mean, to be honest, the thing is with it is it's good and it can do well. No, Scorch has it as well.
All right, folks, that does it for the pistol sections. We're gonna move over to the shotguns. Every
let's have a look at the
is
shotguns
adjusted in some way.
Oh fucking hell!
Shotguns as a whole are underperforming.
City,
you got to be careful with shotguns, though. We try to make small incremental changes. We wouldn't be the biggest fans, I don't think, of creating a shotgun meta that we can help. They are viable, I think, in their ranges, but we're just trying to slowly and carefully increase the situations in which shotguns are viable or very, very strong. The first one up is the Arbitrator, seeing a range increase from 6.5 to 8.
It's all right.
The SKL6 will see a range increase from 7.5 to 9. And slightly increasing the damage that it does at its fall-off ranges. The S12 Tactical, a small fire rate increase, as well as the damage fall-off range.
Dude, that is a fucking powerful shotgun.
Fall off from 16 to 17 meters. And in the Striker, we have a fix. While it is a very heavily hip-fired use, that's kind of the primary use case for the Striker. There was a small issue where the weapon was a little bit less accurate than we wanted it to be when aiming, so we have kind of cleaned up.
The weapon was less accurate when aiming.
So like each of these shotguns, we can, like the Arbitrator is probably the most, polarizing shotgun experience in Rogue Company. And so before, when it had that one-shot body shot, eventually people started getting around to like, oh my God, this thing is very strong, especially for controller users, right? You're just right on them and blast them right in the chest. And so when we pulled that away, when we started to look at this weapon, it was, well, look, this thing's got 2 shots in the cannon, right? It's got 2 shots in the chamber, and it only one-shots if you hit headshots. And so
I don't really get what you're talking about. So, I mean, basically...
Really have a limp.
So yeah, it's very difficult for them to have a two-shot shotgun like that is insane and can one-shot very easily. So you can't increase the damage of it. So I guess you either have to increase the fire rate, which would be stupid, or increase the range, which they've done.
And then, as you remember from our last patch notes, the majority of gunfights that
they just put it in fucking sub-only mode. What's going on?
15 and 25 meters. Shotguns have a very hard time right now.
Yeah, definitely. Got to be careful with the shotguns. It's something we're always keeping an eye on. We want it to be a viable play style for you guys.
Terrifying.
But we don't want it to take over and have a bunch of one. Especially it's a third-person game too. So,
it's a hype train.
Sitting on corners with one-shot shotguns. Unless you're hitting the headshots, it's going to be something that we try to stay away from when we can. Like you said, it's a very polarizing experience. Getting peekabooed and just removed from the video game is not fun to rock with. So that does it for shotguns. We'll move over to SMGs. The 24S will be receiving a big buff to its level 3 upgrade, as well as a small body shot damage boost. So the body shot damage will come up from 15 to 16 per shot. And the level 3 upgrade will now also provide a kick reduction. The LMP-X will be seeing a range increase. Jesus
Christ, man. This gun has been buffed so much. So
it will fall off at the same place to start, but where it begins to fall off again, aka its second.
So the super long range of this is going to be higher.
Or where it levels off will be
and the and the 24S is getting a buff as well.
Fighting with your LMP-X will be another 2 meters.
Which may know me, maybe.
And to put that one very simply, right? Very similar to the Nightshade having the fastest body shot time to kill inside of assault rifles. We want to make sure that the LMP-X is achieving it is really striving to be the best SMG AR hybrid, basically the inverse of that. And so it was just kind of losing a lot of those battles, right? And so we said, hey, let's increase the range a little bit, and then it'll help it out a little bit more.
There you go. And moving right along to our last class of weapon that we will be changing here is the snipers. Snipers are getting a tier 3 headshot damage increase to help counter rogues such as Chalk, who has, his ability can pump him up with a bunch of
shit, Chalk now.
LR15 now at level 3 will increase its headshot damage
175
to 175
headshot.
And the tier at level 3 will headshot for 200 damage.
That's what it's all about. Look,
nuts.
Sniping, when you get a headshot, it needs to always feel rewarding. Bigger numbers and Chalk popping his ability and being in your face, chances that you're going to hit that headshot, pretty small.
Yeah.
So when you do hit it, instead of seeing like 5 health, you're just going to see him dead. And that's a win.
I think that makes sense.
So no matter what, level 3 snipers, hit him in the head, they will go down. Also, small bug fix for the tier, an issue where it wouldn't reload automatically, I assume, after shooting. It's only one in the chamber, so we want to make sure that that is always happening immediately after firing that shot. But maybe some more on that later. Let's move on to the rogue changes now. That does it for weapon balance. First up for rogues,
the long one.
Chalk. This is a good one, though. I think you guys are going to like
this. Berserker instead of Cloaked.
It will be a perk swap happening with Chalk. So
as a buff,
tier 1 section,
as a buff for him.
We will be subbing that out for Berserker, which is the reload while
Cloaked is the most useless perk
the
the fucking game right now.
You all asked for this, and it took us some time. And that might be a theme of this. Maybe the patch should have been, you all have asked for this. We finally did it.
The about time update here.
Yeah, the about time update. Berserker.
It means you can reload while sprinting.
Total sense, right?
It means you can reload while sprinting, and it gets rid of Cloak, which means that you're revealed for less time.
Exactly what you all want, and we're happy to deliver it.
All right, moving on.
Chalk is so busted. He's busted. This is a
perk swap as well, but that's not all. So Zima will be gaining Stalker in place of Nimble Hands. So increased ADS movement speed in place of increased reload.
His kit gets more expensive with that
too. So I think this is
he's already got one of the most expensive kits.
So he wanted to decrease the fuse time on his grenade, his MIRV launcher. So
that feels good. That feels like a good time to kill.
That down from 1.8 second fuse to a 1.5 second. So Dima getting some love.
Yo, I'm actually going to play Dima quite a lot with this update, I think, man.
The hardest parts for me.
We'll see though.
As the lead designer on Rogue Company in this past month and a half, right? So as we spun up all these community tournaments on the weekend, almost every single rogue was played, right? Every single rogue was played, minus Dima.
Job, Godly.
I was like, man, Big Dima's still not being played. And then, now as we always look through the data, and we're always, making sure that our rogues are, balanced And so when I went in there, I looked at every single game mode, and just per usual, and it's just the same realization happened. Like, he wasn't being played competitively, and I looked at the win rates, and he was just doing terrible. And I was like, man, it's time, Dima. Your time to shine is now. Stalker's
fucking fantastic. Stalker is one of the best perks in the game.
You can get outside.
So Stalker is one of the best perks in the game because it allows you to quick peek like that, especially if you have a fast, high damage burst fire gun like the Mamba. That's fucking fantastic. So Stalker's gonna be really good on him. The ult definitely took too long to explode. It was so easy to get out of it. So I think that's fucking. I think Dima's gonna be dope.
Earlier, it's that single shot sniper. That's the tier. That's the primary play style for Fixer. So we wanted to give him something that would help him with.
I'm gonna look into it in a bit, Mashallah.
Ability. So we've added replenish.
What?
In place of headshot.
What's the point?
If you do hit those 200 damage headshots, you will be instantly refunded that.
Why?
And you can continue to go off as long as you're continuing to hit those headshots.
Yeah, so this is another one of those great community suggestions. And what we love about this one is that, when you got a one-shot sniper,
did you see that?
It's really about making sure that you're the playmaker. And we lean into those high dopamine moments. And nothing is a better highlight reel than watching a Fixer just go to town.
Yeah.
Headshot after headshot after headshot. I mean, I got dreams of hitting that.
Yeah,
and
it's good for his identity too. He's the guy. He's the single shot. He's the
hackers are gonna fucking love
He doesn't
Fixer.
need any more than that one shot. So very well aligned there. Moving on to Kestrel. I actually like the way you worded this. There's not a major difference between an okay game with a Kestrel and a great game with Kestrel. You're just getting so much money. It just no matter really how you're performing, you always had enough. And
that's true.
This is almost
Always
in line
max out
with
cash.
The assist money reduction from 500 to 250. The bonus cash from getting downs with Kestrel will be reduced.
Fuck! Yo, this should have been done a long time ago.
Thank you for your stamp of approval on my comment.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that. Yeah, so Kestrel is one of those rogues who, when we look at this, obviously we've hit the
that should have been done ages ago
as well, which is her primary weapon.
Yeah,
and when I looked at this, and we look at the damage, the average damage of the ability, we don't see her ability be overperforming real. It ends up being the store. She's able to just kind of effortlessly go through it regardless of her performance, and this just kind of helps bring her in line with all the other rogues.
Yeah, and it would put you in, especially with these 6v6 modes now, folks. I mean, Kestrel, her ability.
Also, just to be aware, Kestrel has the cheapest kit. To buy everything, her kit costs the cheapest amount if she buys the Knight. It's fucking wild.
It goes in line with the rebalancing, I think, of a lot of these new modes and buying when dead, all that good stuff.
For aimbot kids or me.
Kestrel, moving on to Lancer.
Lancer
will be seeing a duration increase of quick and quiet from 10 seconds to 14 seconds.
Yep, just a little bit of a buff to allow her to break the timers on the map a little bit better. Specifically in like Demolition and our round-based one life game modes, it's very difficult for her to sneak around and flank, right? Yeah, because you only got 10 seconds and you kind of keep that inside of there. So the
flank that I always think about is like the one on Icarus when everybody's fighting on the alley. Like this 14 seconds is going to be great for you just need that little bit more juice to get around the corner there and really sneak up on people and make the full wrap happen.
And you're 100% right, because if you activate quick and quiet right at that fountain, right around as you get that bend, it's still going to be going under this buff. So
it'll be a good one here. Big win here for Ronin as well. Her passive will now be buffed to make her immune to enemy reveals as well as radar detection. So radar detection, aka things like shooting or Talon's radar dart, that's what she had. What she's gaining now, Scott, if I'm reading this right, is the immunity completely to things like Secret Arrow and Dallas Snap.
Right. That is 100% correct. This is another one of those ones where it's about time that we did the thing. So, Ronin is just such a strong duelist who can cover and play any way, right? She can be a great offense character. She can be a great defender. She can be a great anything, right? And so when we looked at her past, we were like, we're not too worried about, or just having like more of a niche passive. But
Ronin is fucking OP.
It became apparent to us that, well, it's time. Let's go ahead and increase this. Let's make her immune to reveals as well as enemy radar detection, and it fits her narrative really well as well. So we're super happy about that. minus the fact that she got caught and thrown in jail by Mac, but we don't have to worry about that. If she would have had this passive, it wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
That's great, and especially Cloak to not providing reveal immunity anymore. There was space. There was space in the ecosystem for something to do that. Moving along to Seeker.
I thought someone just said Broden means a sticky grenade. No.
Characters in the game will be seeing a increase in the rate that his arrow recharges. So it's 45-second cooldown. Now it is a 40-second cooldown. The reveal radius is slightly
damage
larger,
increase from 60% to
7.5 to 8
70%.
meters, as well as the amount of damage that his bounce passive provides to him increased from
Pog, happy days,
60%
Lancer.
extra damage to 70% extra damage.
Yup, Seeker. When we look at the damage and just his performance in general, Seeker has a lot of high skill, and so at the highest levels of demolition ranked play, you see him used pretty effectively. Everywhere else,
it's a bounce grenade.
very poorly performing, right? And so that's something where we wanted to make sure that we gave him a little bit of bump.
What did they do with Kestrel just got here? They nerfed her ability, only gets a 500 now, and they nerfed her gun, it's a little bit less range.
Everyone, we had him on.
If you want to see all the stuff before that, we'll be talking about it at the end, and I'm going to post the video on YouTube, so subscribe to my YouTube.
Look, there's too many reveals are happening.
If you want to see, if you don't want to wait till the end.
Overtune, but just go ahead and make it 45 seconds. And we felt pretty confident in that, but I think we overhit him. And so this is kind of bringing him back in line to where hopefully he's in a much better spot.
Yep. So cooldown's faster,
it really
radius is bigger, and if you manage to hit
a couple
the
of
bounce shots,
precision TTK though. It's not just like it's not just like blanket TTK.
The radar dart will be seeing an increase in size of
holy shit.
That Talon dart range will
so many buffs, man.
20 meters, it will be 23 meters.
Look at the size of that fucking thing.
Key choke points, all that good stuff. The big one though is Trench, Scott, and I know
that is fucking girthy.
These don't fit in the frame. I've been trying to do thumbs ups. Need a bigger box.
Let me read you this and then I'll let you take it away. Barbed wire now deals 5 damage every 0.25 seconds when an enemy is standing in it. So a total of 20 DPS to targets that are.
Oh my god!
Done it. You did it.
Yeah.
So,
oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, nice. I like it. I think that's cool. Yeah, nice.
Right. Trench barbed wire. This is something that we have debated internally so many times amongst the design team as well as everybody else.
I like that a lot, man.
And
I think that's cool.
When you first think of barbed wire in a semi-realistic game, you go, you would probably take damage from that, right? We're like, nah, it needs to slow. And so Trench, outside of his passive, has had a pretty difficult time. In respawn game modes, he is at the very bottom of the list. Beneath Dima, he has a very difficult time performing against literally everybody else.
But Barnes do damage.
We've tried this in the past, and the damage was, or it felt a little too strong. And so this next time when we brought it back out and we started talking about it, it goes, okay, well, how do we make this work? And really the key change there was that when we divided up the barbed wire into having two smaller charges. Two smaller charges inside of there, it made it a lot more forgiving. So if you just walk through this barbed wire, you're going to lose about half your health, right? But obviously if you jump and you catch the tail end, you're only going to lose about 10, 15 health inside of there. And
that's nuts. I really like that a lot. I think that's really good.
The craziest thing.
Especially with Rank King of the Hill, that makes a lot of sense.
And enthusiast people are like, oh my God, I have to worry about barbed wire all of a sudden.
Yeah, you do.
And I heard that, and I go, man, we probably should have done this earlier.
Yeah, I think the key there is what you said about the. I'm
gonna absolutely love playing this in the PTS.
I just can't
tomorrow
stomach like blowing my lethal gadget
tomorrow.
Up. So I always do, and I just take the damage and I try. and you take those fights down.
Yep. You should have health though. That's not
have headstrong and be at 125. So you're taking a 125 versus 85 HP fight. That gives Trench a significant advantage. If you're not properly counterplaying and destroying the barbed wire, it's going to start to make an impact on your fights as a Trench player. So big stuff.
Which in turn buffs Dima because he has EMP grenades as well.
It's going to feel like a little bit of a new game when you guys get in there. Yeah, you guys got a lot to learn and a lot to experiment with. We're super excited about it, just as we are about this next event. It's time to get into some of these kind of fun.
This is going to be a big one as well. Let's have a little look, boys. See what's going on.
While you get paid. The Arms Dealer event. This is an event that is going to be completely free to absolutely everybody.
Come on! Oh, baby,
everyone will have
sheesh!
access to this. All of these little missions,
Nice,
shipments
thank
are going to
fuck.
be
They should have done
repeatable,
this.
and so everybody can rock and roll on this. You're not going to be excluded if you don't have any rogue bucks to spend on it, Scott.
Good. Finally.
Yeah, so again, you know, when
Exclusive
we did
missions,
our
of
first
course,
Arms Dealer
you
event,
can- you should be able to
we
pay to
listened
make it
the community,
quicker.
And this is
Whatever
our
it says.
next evolution of the Arms Dealer event. And so, like you said, this event is entirely free. The exclusive shipments, they're going to boost your performance and allow you to complete a little bit faster, but they're not mandatory. All of the standard challenges inside of there are repeatable. So you're able to just constantly sit there and make progression on side of there if you can. And then this oil slick, the oil slick weapon wrap, if you could go back for me real quick, Brad. Love it.
I love that.
Super great. There's also that on the weapon wrap.
This looks fucking sick, man. I've seen it on the weapons, like in a still, but being animated. That's the one I want to see.
Vector is great, but look at this oil slick on the
yeah, oil slick looks dope,
this
man.
Just looks fantastic. The weapon art team just constantly keeps raising the bar. Matt Demeray, who's in charge of all of that, salute, my brother.
He is absolutely killing it there. So everyone has access to this. You will complete missions. The free missions are repeatable. Everyone has access to them. You spend.
Who's the beautiful bird you are?
Get from completing missions on these shipments. If
this
you
looks
want,
dope.
you can unlock the exclusive.
This looks like a
missions,
Valorant skin.
to speed up the progress and the rate at which you acquire these tokens to unlock the shipments. You can see them over there. The exclusive missions. The left-hand side is your standard missions that everybody can rock and roll with. We've got some great stuff available in these later shipments as well. You could see down at the bottom.
Also,
the Scorch skin, the Thrasher Scorch.
I love it.
Got the nice
fucking
eyeshadow
Adam's
there as
family.
well. Blacked out
Scorch.
fishnet vibe. Very.
It goes with Helena,
very,
though.
very kind of different than her 4th of July style.
That that goes with Helena quite well. They're gonna look quite good as a pair.
Here, the Dust Devil.
You on fire!
Well. You guys can see at the bottom of your screen the special reserve shipment. This is free. If you get through all 8 shipments, congratulations, you've reached the pot of gold at the end of
I'm not really a big fan of that skin.
All of this.
I don't know about that one. I don't think it's that great,
Dima,
but I'm actually fucking stupid. I'm streaming on
road
480
bucks as well. And nothing wrong with a little bit of cash. The oil slick for your primaries. That's the big one that you want. I love the black accenting alongside the oil slick stuff. Looks like there is an emote down there at the bottom as well. The laughing stock. Oh, nice. Perfect.
Very toxic.
I think if there's one thing we're the best at, it's getting borderline toxic emotes for players.
that's what the emote
looking
great. Let's not beat around the bush. That's what you're using your emotes for. We understand that, and we want to give you guys the ammunition.
This is pretty true. Remember to link your Twitches to your
after you've dusted them, and of course the collector legendary title there is the final piece.
Your road company account, by the way, because there are drops that are coming out. Lens just got his. Make sure you link your
a la carte outfits.
Link your Twitch with that link that I just posted in chat, and then carry on watching, and you'll get your free skin. So just bear in mind.
A little bit of a sneak preview of this when we were rolling through the
animated
Arms
skin
dealer event. So this is very
animated
cool.
skin. That's a first.
Materials on her clothes, kind of moving around subtly. Very, very cool. I'm a big fan of the galaxy print type of stuff. It's awesome. Dahlia is one of my favorites.
Is that first? I think that is a first. Yo, Terry, how you doing, boy? Welcome.
I think she's gonna be.
What did I miss? I'll go over it all at the end. There's quite a lot of stuff, but I'll go over it at the end, and we'll check it out.
This green, this pink, and this blue.
I fucking hate this skin. Also, I'm sure you'll see it on YouTube as well.
Loving the posing on this
if you don't want to wait to the end, but
it's all good stuff here. And of course, you have all the emotes to rock with from that Arms
This looks
dealer.
dope. Look at the pound signs, man. Sheesh!
Scaducci anvil?
Yeah,
it is looking clean there. The big old white trench coat. My man is, glitz and glam and gilded trimmed coats doesn't really seem like Anvil's thing, but he looks so damn good doing it.
He got a little bit of money, and they say money don't change you, but it clearly does for Anvil, right? He instantly became bougie.
Oh man, that's great stuff there. We got a bunch of sprays.
Thanks so much for the sub, Gains. Appreciate you. Gifted baby on a T1. Pog!
That's the happy pug.
Even better, Gains gets the new emote.
Banditos. That's a hefty price on Chalk's head. But hey, you got the tier 3 sniper upgrades to take that head for yourself, and of course, the Ronin Guardian.
That's a really good
guidance, excuse me, as well.
Like that.
A couple of sweet banners here as well. I gotta commend Brad. That's the stalking tiger banner right there. the death, we will have one that we can't show right now, but for the ranked reward, we have one called the Death Punch banner, and I'm gonna leave you with that, the spoil of what that is. You guys can kind of conjecture amongst yourselves what you think that might look like. We got a bunch of emotes, of course. Saw a couple of them. Arms dealer event.
Mashallah, thank you for the tier 1 sub, and then fucking Gaines coming in hard with a 5 gifted. Damn!
It's just a happy.
Now you give
necessarily that toxic flavor.
Thank you both.
Here's the teenage wedding.
Teenage wedding, huh?
Fuck is this?
Yeah, I wonder where that name comes from.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering too. Is like
this looks like it looks. That kind of reminds me of that like My Chemical Romance dance from like Helena, that Helena music video, like way back. That might be where that's from.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take
Here's
it.
the crossed out emote. Very good stuff here. Clean.
That's so fucking funny, man. Mashallah
T1
T1 subs and then Gaines gets 5
as well. And of course, the love.
Oh.
See those two smoke canisters. Blow the kiss. Rock and roll. Great
I like
stuff.
That.
There
I like that.
Emote. Have a couple of weapon wraps to show off for you. You gotta commend Brad here for just this is the most
efficient he's got it all.
Cameraman work. Moving through weapon wraps.
We like all
emotes.
of a sudden got really good at this.
He knows what he's doing. Cherry Blossom secondary. Well, we don't have the secondary version of that, but this is kind of what that Cherry Blossom would look like. You guys can use your imaginations and apply that to your favorite secondary. Very animated as the blossoms kind of wisp along the sides of your
the
weapon.
Cherry Blossom's been out there before, right?
We have, that's the Rising Tide, the Frostbite. That is one of the new rare
It's going to be Dryas's new
here
melee.
In this patch. Looking really clean there on the katana.
Second row.
Got, of course, a couple more weapon wraps here.
That one, yeah.
Showers. This one is, of course, to go along with your more toxic emotes. You've got the tears, the salty tears of your enemies
we'll see soon,
to rock
hopefully.
with. On your primaries, the Neon Synapse primary wrap here.
Jeez, okay.
It's nice work.
It is animated. I thought it might be.
Lots of animated.
Looks good.
For you guys, and that's really what
it does look good.
Starts to grab your attention, I think, in this patch.
Well,
just how many options you have in that category. The Scaducci rocket wingsuit here to pair up with the.
I think that looks good. It looks very similar to the Battle Pass one, but
so you got plenty of options if you love that classic black and gold gilded look. The redacted wingsuit here, very, very clean, very subtle for your more minimalist style. We've got something for everyone at this point. We're really getting kind of a very well-rounded collection.
Yeah, I think at this
Dr.
point,
Disrespect one, but
I'm just ready for animated banners and avatars.
Oh, he's just talking about
let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Get some weapon-specific skins. Let's get some animated banners. Let's get a little crazy.
I'm loving Brad hovering over and tempting us with that. A couple small little notes here. I'm being told that we do have like an email pop-up type of thing that can get you a free weapon wrap, I believe. I actually saw this when I logged in to Dev PTS. I logged in the other day and I saw this pop up just to kind of, I think, go to another window, fill out some information, maybe an email or something like that, and you get a free weapon wrap from that. The daily store rotation as well. So we know if you guys missed something just by, if you didn't have a chance to log in or whatever, and you missed something that you really wanted, we're going to be rotating the store on a daily basis now instead of
Brad's fucked, mate. He's going to have to do the daily video.
So there's two things
Brad's
right there.
fucked, mate.
I'll touch on the email real quick. So
someone message Brad and tell him that there's going to be a daily store rotation.
Free primary rep, right? That's it. Guaranteed, you got it. It's
okay,
free.
so
all we need is your email. The next piece is that, at this point,
they're trading this skin for your email address. I mean, that's kind of ass in my opinion, but we'll talk about it a bit more at the end.
We've gotten to the point where we feel pretty confident that we can have a chunk of the store be on a daily rotation, and so every single day you'll be able to log in and see something new and
bits of it will be weekly, no doubt.
There you go, perfect. And now for the moment you are all waiting for. You've been very patient. It is time. We've gone through all the weapons, all the skins, all the rogues, all the mode changes. It's time to take a look at the newest member of Rogue Company, introducing Switchblade. Very excited.
Here we go, boys. Damn! Lobby looks better as well.
Yeah.
She looks great.
She looks sick,
edgy.
dude.
She's got the ripped fishnets. She's got a very aloof posing to her. She is a breacher. And the rest, Scott, I'm going to leave to you, my friend.
posing.
Oh, where to begin?
Well,
where to
where to
begin?
begin?
Okay, so let's kick off at the highest level from a narrative perspective. And just real quick, I know we've talked about narratives in the past and like, rogue bios and things along those lines. And for those of you who don't follow me on social media, those are coming right around the corner.
Yeah, large up the games.
So
Absolute Chad.
So,
also welcome.
now, let's jump into it. So season 2 kicked off
my
with
God,
Jackal attacking Rogue Company and Ronan getting thrown in jail by Mac, who works for Justicar, right? So Rogue Company is in a weakened state. You know, they've been attacked by Jackal. They just lost Ronan. And so now they're like, well, we need someone to be able to break Ronan out of jail. But they need someone who's not known. Because as, you know, Ronan was taken away, Justicar and Mac said, well, we're going to monitor all the well-known rogues inside.
The cosmetics look nice. They look really good.
If anyone's doing anything illegal, they're going to jail too.
Yeah.
They needed someone who was a little bit unknown. And so in comes Switchblade. Switchblade has essentially been on the run her entire life. And she doesn't know why. Now, she's always managed to survive, but she doesn't know why she's always been on the run. And so the director of Rogue Company reached out to her and said, look, I promise you, I'm going to find out.
Yeah, Ronan is going to be massive. I'm a Ronan main as well, so I'm fucking happy with that.
And there will be more of that to come in a future narrative IO release. In exchange for that, you're going to help us break
Ronan has
signed a deal, and now here she is.
Reveal immunity.
So that is the narrative piece. Now, what you guys really want to know, I say that because it's just the part that I'm the most excited about, right? Switchblade is our newest breacher to Rogue Company, as Nick just said. And
it's got good animations.
What she excels at is creating space for her team while also penalizing enemies who are fortified behind cover, right? So she has what we call the Chaos Launcher. And if we can go ahead and hop into game and check this out at some point, Brad, that'd be amazing. But before we do that, I guess... No, you were right. You had it right, Brad. I did this wrong. Let's go through the combat loadout real quick.
Scott, man.
So, high level here.
Ronan can stay in jail.
The
Fuck off.
Weapons that
That's how Ronan's breaking out of jail.
Has access to. She has access to the Mark IV, which is the
Bounce Grenade new art. Looks pretty cool.
As well. Then she has the 24S. This is the first time Lancer's weapon is on another rogue. And one of the questions, Nick, we always asked ourselves was like, I wonder if the 24S is going to be good on literally any other character.
Yeah, it's a fun way to find out. So, I mean, both the Mark IV and the 24S new to any, you know, it's just saying with the Mark IV, it's just it's just Lancer with the 24S.
Yeah, I think she's got a really good kit.
That new one in there. Then when you go down to the perks,
let me move down the way so you guys see.
He is a little bit more of an aggressive character, and we'll talk about that passive. Yeah, I know you guys probably read it on the screen, but we wanted to make sure that she achieved the breacher mentality. And so in order to kind of break through enemy defenses, you kind of need to be able to take an explosive to the chest and kind of live. And you also need the ability to make big plays happen, which is where life drain kind of comes into play. So she can put herself in a little bit more of risky situations while still being able to come out on top. Yeah. Now let's go to the passive.
Fucking pee-pee.
So, passive here is fight and flight. And so
I want to see how this works. I want to see how much the
Switchblade is going to gain
how much of a movement speed
every time she uses her ability.
Costas, you say that every update, mate.
So when you throw a gadget, you're going to gain a burst, of movement speed that allows you to close the gap. And that works beautifully.
How long does it last? How fast is she?
And it also works amazingly with flashbacks. Her ability...
Well, nerf my
you guys can read it, but I'd rather show it. You know, that's really where we get
show it, come on, baby.
For her overall, and that's an amazing.
I want to see
animation team.
Fix this graphical bug. Is really annoying.
You know, we just keep raising the bar on these character presentations, right?
Yeah.
And so, like when we click this,
she looks dope here, man. You're the fucking launcher.
Big chilling, and so let's go ahead and select this, and let's see.
Strong now, yeah. For respawn, definitely not much change for.
That is the Chaos Launcher there that she is holding. So the newest member of Rogue Company.
She looks sick.
Unknown to Justicar, largely unknown, I think, at large. Signs a deal with Rogue Company at the promise of information about her past and about who she is, why she's being hunted, why she is on the run.
I really like the art style.
Start off with the passive. 100%. So as we talked about briefly a little bit before, the passive ability allows Switchblade to close the gap. So as soon as you throw a gadget or use your ability, you're going to gain a big burst.
Holy fuck, she's quick.
Last 5 seconds. And so as long as you have gadgets, you're always able to do this. And so you throw one, and you'll get the burst, and you'll throw another, you'll get that burst again. And you can see she's really moving. She's not as fast as the Lancer, right? Obviously. But she's damn close inside of there. And so now the real show here is all about the Chaos Launcher. So I
want to see this. This is going to be interesting.
Roko's version 1 of a rocket launcher inside of our game, Nick. And when she equips this, the Chaos Launcher, right? What you're seeing here is a very specific targeter, and this is how it works. So when the rocket is fired, it will do 75
Forbidden
damage
Hentai Collection?
in an area.
Yeah, for me, man. I want it back.
Eject 3 napalm canisters that then fill up that area
with
essentially a Molotov effect. And so this will go over cover. So Brad, just go ahead and shoot it, just kind of like right at this cover. Yeah, that'd be great. So we all have those times where you want to get people out from behind cover. And this is exactly what it's designed to do.
God. It didn't last very long.
Some medium piece of cover inside of the level. You want to shoot the Chaos Launcher at it, and then just go ahead and close the gap and punish.
It doesn't last very long at all.
In addition to that, it does 75 damage, and then the tick damage is really strong as well.
Oh, fuck!
Hit 20 a tick.
Oh my god!
5 seconds.
This is the Sigrid killer. This is it. This annihilates Sigrid.
You're gonna, when you go ahead and activate this, you're gonna gain this boost of movement speed.
Run at me then. Literally just fucking send at me then with your shield up. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna shoot this directly at your feet. You can't go forward. You can't go backwards. You have to go sideways. You're gonna get fucking killed.
It's a fun little thing to play with. When you've got enemies that are fortified behind cover, you can use the napalm.
Could be broken. We'll see though. The thing behind cover could be tough.
Either you're playing TDM, it's frantic. You can just hit him with the rocket for 75.
Holy, and you can direct impact.
They get hit with the rocket, they're gonna eat at least a tick or 2 of the fire, which is
barbecue stick 100%, man. About time.
It's a lot of damage. So 2 ticks of the fire plus the rocket.
Not sure what you mean.
Super fun to play with, and it does have that versatility of, do I want to puddles here, or do I want to just go for a rocket hit?
I'm gonna play her quite a bit, I think.
I'm
gonna play her a lot. I'm definitely gonna play her in the PTS. I'm definitely gonna play her on release.
A Switchblade, and she just rockets both of us and takes us both out, right? So that's an option too if you want to go kind of for the suicide style when you have no other options.
Maybe.
There's a lot of ways
actually,
to
could be right.
Launcher. Super fun ability here. It looks cool. It sounds cool. I love
oh my god!
I love the effects on the ground too. Those look so
over a jump wall.
Yeah.
Into trap on factory.
Team absolutely crushed it. So,
force someone out of trap on factory.
One of the points that how we ended up with this ability is there's a lot of times, especially in a map like Factory, where everybody knows in Strikeout Factory, right? Yeah, you have those people right at the hop over, and it's very difficult to get a grenade over there, or how you flush someone out from behind that power position is very difficult.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And that was
force someone out
of
with
the
jump
driving
wall
forces behind
on A and on B.
This character is, hey, how do you get people out from these powerful positions?
Holy shit, man, that's actually so
by
powerful.
Having those 3 pulls spread out, you kind of force people off of that pieces of cover. The same thing will work.
I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play her a lot.
Playing,
I can see it already.
On high cast when someone's on the bridge, same thing's gonna happen.
Holy.
As well.
Explosive damage and
we'll have to take a look at this. Is that
so 75 explosive damage with an AoE, so I saw her hit 60, and then 20 tick damage.
A duration meter that pops up on your screen, and you gain bonus.
What's the other nade? The other nade is a bounce grenade. It's just nothing new. It's just a new art for the bounce grenade.
Investigate that as to why.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, there is a small. You can kind of see below her bar, her health bar. There's a little buff icon that does indicate where that movement speed is. But like Scott mentioned, there will be a duration meter that pops up, shows how long it's going to last and how long you're rocking and rolling with. But that's Switchblade, guys. That is Switchblade. She has the Chaos Launcher, of course, the Mark 24S bounce grenades, flashbangs, and the baseball bat, my personal favorite melee weapon.
It's no one's favorite melee weapon, pretty.
It goes together well.
No one likes the baseball
bat. To kind of close the gap on your own stuff. A lot of times, you throw these flashes, you just throw the Chaos Launcher. You got a long way to kind of go to actually initiate or follow up on your own sort of breaching abilities. Everybody else might be in position, but I love the passive because it allows you to sort of...
As a bat, yeah, but
not only am I starting this fight, but now I have the movement speed to kind of catch up to the rest of my team and be a part of that action that I helped start.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of times where, if you just think about like the base flashbang behavior, right? throw it, you're playing Skyfall, you throw it across inside of like Egypt, you get a
pretty
hit
cool.
marker.
Sure.
You're not going to be able to close that gap inside of the time, but now with Switchblade, you are able to. So there's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of aggression inside of her kit. And oddly enough, we found that in Demolition, a lot of it comes down to good, strong coordination as to when you're rallying behind when she uses that ability. Respawn game modes, obviously, do your thing. Fire and forget, have a good time.
I mean, yeah, she's gonna be very powerful for both. I mean, you can imagine like a multiple flash team with this launcher to push people out from behind cover, flash them as they're running away. Like it's gonna be insane.
Very powerful use, even in King of the Hill.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her in game. Definitely looking forward to playing her on the PTS tomorrow. So.
Very, very excited for Switchblade. Excited to learn more, Scott, about her future and the way that narrative is going to play out. We'll see if she gets that information that she's after. That was a lot of stuff.
Launcher on lockdown B site. Holy!
Switchblade joins Rogue Company. Plenty of new skins. A completely free arms dealer event. Multiple changes to both weapons and rogues. A brand new game, if you will, for you guys to get in, explore, have fun.
Tim the Tapman's in my chat, Pog.
Who's going to be the new powerful Switchblade mains out there? Thank you all so much for joining.
I'm going to be a Switchblade main. Me.
At the Little Killer Switchblade skin that will be available upon release of this character.
Yeah,
so
man.
if you really want to main her, you
Nice.
got to buy the skin and get in there and make sure you set yourself apart from all of the other imposter wannabe Switchblade mains out there. Guys, thank you all so much for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content coming your way, and I can't wait for you all to get your hands on it. From
Octane
all of us
vibes,
here
yeah,
at the
kind of.
Watch team, thank you so much for watching. We love you. See you next time.
Good fucking job, boys. Good job. All right, guys, there we have it. That is everything you need to know about the Switchblade Updates show. If you're watching this on the day of release, make sure to come check out my Twitch channel as I'm probably live right now playing her on the PTS. Either way, I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.